for akunini mienu entemo de bokrata kro na mampani na nado danko akufo ado sabram no ekasa yi epue mantem fo so ebebinya omo hospital Eastern Regional Hospital sika ewo no 70 million euros euro no opepe edioson na eno na de bokrata na ebo amanie se first phase no na mampani na nado danko akufo ado dia so abofom na eyade a mampani chem se bosome aduasa insia 36 months na sa efe dikan ebe hyase with 285 bed facility necessary anankura makomako ahanu ediwotwe enum na ewie ni nyina de a ebe 600 beds capacity ano honsem the bokrata no so ade aba the front page of the new crusading guide and pay so unya bi kenkan ebetimi aboa nkronkro ba makomako aduonu enwotwe sabre de omonso omonya kwanya se ombenya nkania ewo nkrom nti unya new crusading guide the bokrata ni bi kan no pay a megide se obete ensam no ankasase.
The NDC threatens to deal with soldiers, police drastically should they come back to power, is the screaming headline on the front page for the Chronicle newspaper this morning. Also on its front page, it says, Kofi goes gaga over new regional hospital. And in your short, waving Nana Danko Akufo-Addo has a picture waving to the audience. Politicians are not policemen at registration centers. EC. The Konfanochi Teaching Hospital records 81 COVID-19 related mortalities. That's the Chronicle newspaper.
I was for Eguso account said the worker temum pensem more dialogue jumedie so anano pay yawadano pay and Eguso at the mamona. The worker at the new the Chronicle and I to associate the new crusading guide Kuguino. Also the mampeni sema anase asempa akoso ewo apue mantem no honkomo aba. Nananom ohwe achinia hodo ene se wofra wontuma abo chacha mu ne nyina ne sesabre de aso abo fom nananom so eba benya eye asopiti kese amomanfo mpatam nyina kofo dua enso timi enya so emfa so. National Democratic Congress NDC amanyoko no ohwe mfoni da ha eye owura Elvis Afriye Ankra papa yi Ghana fo bekai a umbekai e wo Brazil so obesun e obra otana committee animu na otwa hia me so atoku bi $500 ni de kekeka ho na ne aseme no moka NDC fo na ebo enya omo threaten eye asrafo ene aposifo so mo ba power sa kwanya ba no mo betana kunya nso bia ne aposifo danta masenema omo chemu se ne omo betete mo papa omo bet transfer rough omo state class futu police commander bia oho no dia chese eba ya ye nkwa koto ekro bia sekro no obinu no ho same demfi enso emfonyi e wo de bokrata no konkrabata no katafeto so miensam a the Chronicle bossa amane no na COVID-19 na Dr. Ohene ba owusu danso oni peni kwanche for da Konfanochi Teaching Hospital arbetu dwa se enipa ba de otwe ba ko de osusu se COVID-19 bi aba wo mogema bepiumu atena ye ho komo wo hase abato komisa HSA aposifo enkwa na ranma okwan so ko registration centers politicians amanyofo enyemo na moboban entimu ko ho a momfa moni krotwa wi sen ko hwe na mumanye mo na mokototo nyoma ho eno a mami gin mensa no na commission edma abato commission no e dia to edwa na da obokrata the Chronicle anopay ono so ebo ho amane.
The ABC newspaper, edited by our own Gordon Nasaribidiakon, says on its front page, Ken and Co. bail stranded Ghanaians in Lebanon. So as you've been following our feed throughout, Netu or Canadian Japan is leading the charge to bring stranded, relatives and friends in Lebanon home. And the ABC carries the headline, Ken and Co. bail stranded Ghanaians in Lebanon. On the front page as well, we have don't go to registration centers to resolve issues. EC warns politicians. And too late to campaign for Mahama, Koku Anyidoho. And in its editorial, Ghana's industrial boom, auto industry must succeed.
The Wokrata ABC News on the side of truth and wahotedi Asembe no moka onumnyamfo Kennedy ohene Japan asen central emrahye infoni eda krata nanim fefefefefefe yenuanom emma be apema wani ababiam e Lebanon no ehonsem e wom krata fe toso miensa no eye Gordon Asarbedi akon no ene editor atro ensem ni nyina ede egu ho na ni nyina tia otwem se yenuanom akoka ho no onumnyamfo Kennedy Japan ene enipa bi hwe sesa yenuanom ba beka ensa se ne no ayebo mamane member of parliament for Efutu Alexander Kwame na afenyo Markins wa donated $30,000 ninsem ewo krata no se ne onumnyamfo Kennedy Japan edi ka etu anamotwa asa no de bokrata no ede munsem aba sanso na bato komisa se emo bia nko registration center so enkosi ohaw bia no enyemo na mo so sa ha na no enyemo dwuma enyemo haw enti munyai se mo yesa de bokrata no de sasem no aba na Koku Anidoho former deputy general secretary edema NDC amanyoko no also se obey campaign ama mahama no ebre ko no kra is too late I late to kra den na Koku enhu a wo kasa asemi unya ABC news de bokrata na no pay ensem no ya kruchi ne doso po ewo mankasa
70 million Euro hospital project takes off. President cuts short for new 600-bed regional hospital for Eastern Region. The Daily Statesman splashed this headline on its front pages this morning. So when you get a copy of the Daily Statesman on its front page, you also find, let's attack the issues instead of attacking the campaigner. Also on the front page, Akufo-Addo, Mahama past records matter most. Gabi says primaries will be less important in December polls. That's it for the front page of the Daily Statesman newspaper.
I was for the Bokrata Daily Statesman and I did etwaso now share. Se ye kukurusika iro no opipe edioson na ye de kwakosi ultramodern hospital ewo eye Primantem Eastern Region no ehonsem ewo ha se ya onya bikinkan ya obetimi akomu yi pa mampani ade aso abofom na Gabi Ochreda kon ade atodua se aban ote abenwa so ene kane mampani a ono na sabre oye frankatuni ede ma eye NDC amanyoko no Ghana fo behwe obi anwuma waye yese nwuma ne bedi wachi ansa no magina so de atoba de obakata no de munsem de aba sabram no kasai na United Kingdom Export Financing and this has 70 million euros yi eba de abeboa se ne be ya obetimi de esi hospital na mampani no a okokate so no de atodwa se sika no abeto ye confess monti onumnyamfo kanofori atansaka ye photo samfo sika no da ya ban mu ano ebe hwase na ye de dwuma nti de obakata Daily Statement unya bikanya ensem no ni dosopo ewo mu ankasa.
Right, with a pictorial shot of the president digging with a shovel to launch the construction for the Eastern Regional Hospital, its lead headline, that's the Ghanaian Times newspaper, says, President cuts short for construction of 600-bed Eastern Region Hospital, as you can see in your shot. Also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, disturbances at voter registration centers deal with troublemakers, EC tells security agencies. Like we all know, today is the day the finance minister steps into the Chamber of Parliament to review the budget. And on its front page, the Ghanaian Times captures the program today as finance minister outlines measures to boost the economy amidst COVID-19. On the issue of the GBC Ministry of Communication brouhaha, the Times has on its front page, GBC's DTT platform brouhaha. National Media Commission kicks against Communication Ministry order. And Get Fund issues 2-week ultimatum for contractors to go back to sites. That's not all. Turning attention to the back page of the Ghanaian Times. Good news for fisherfolk in the central region. How do you call the central region in English?
Infini Mante.
Ah, okay. Would you mention Abia and Sembe? Infini Mante. Okay, central region fishermen receive 300 subsidized outboard motors. I guess Kwesi Nensen will be ecstatic. Him and the Jando, the renowned fishermen in Kencity Media. Rehabilitation of Wamko Efia Kuma Road begins. That's also good news for the residents of the Western region.
Ghanaian Times, the worker at the most authoritative newspaper. Wadiaba Ghana ye photo some for Ken Ofori Atta. Uhe a year section 28. Year Public Financial Management Act 2016 Act 921 mid-year budget review. Where Article 179 clause 8 of the 1992 Constitution man quine say ye wura afinima na ye che afinimu mienu opani be komra hye bedwam no afro simpini apa akoma sika ode bo my Ghana sabre COVID-19 mo nso ene wo mu dien ena ode eba ne eni da kwan se onumnyamfo Ken Oforiata ebe komra hye bedwam no apa no ndu ya opani eko no de nkuntabu ade beto Ghana for enim the overview of microeconomic development obekasa ho analysis of revenue expenditure and financing performance and afi overview of implementation of the annual budget ena papa yi ekoka ho asem ene dai ewo eye emrahye bedwam de bokata na de ba mampani na nadan kwakufu ado de aso abofom ema 600 bed Eastern Regional Hospital the Ghanaian Times de honsem aba eho sanso ena eye abato commission ka kire security agency say obi bi obeba eye registration centers abaye wontwi bia no mondele with him ene montwena so the Bokata no disansem no aba Central Region aye apofofo mfimfini mantem apofofo na sabre wonsa etimi aka aye outboard motors mako 300 we aye Coastal Development Authority and omoni Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development and oma presenters adewe chese the Bokata no ebo ho amane opiemu wo aye atoye mantems fian kuma ene wamko kwan na obi a onim ho bia no eno wo aye Sky Media ne hon patem hono akwan no atete pansam sabram no ekasai impani ehwe SCC masa wamko efe kuma kwan no etimi atom emomanfo etim patem ho so enya so mfa so eno Democrata Ghanaian Times ohwe krata ne chia nsema eno no.
Let's head to Nima, and the Daily Guide says Nana starts 70 million euro hospital in Koforidua. And the Nima-based newspaper also has on its front page tears and wailing as Baumia Mon said John. No chance for John Mahama, says Gabi. This story is interesting enough, and when my guest is seated, we will be taking a bite at that dish. I didn't fly to UK for COVID-19 treatment, President.
I was for the Bokata Daily Guide, so Eddie Abano, Ghana's favorite newspaper, Obama near Mampenina and Adanko Kufordon, and the Krata Beard in Asamaba, 70 million euros project Koso Kufuriano or the Monsem Eddie Abba. Na Enra, breaching the cabinet ball, Amagana, no, a dear Canetrof for Penny de NPP Amayukuno, where the late. Sisi ameno eka say ebrebe atwam so na odi ne dwuma ansa na obe free no ewo kwaye mu nyina ewo Ghana ha mampene de hye sa forestry commission owura lawyer Kojo Owusu afriye Sir John enra ena amamra ne amane kwa so sakra wono ewa santemantem edi ne na wotwe na empani atwotwo ne ntiri ko bi ekohwe jam opani no de bokata no ede ne fonya beto onyo bi kan ya ho nsem beba sanso na mampani na dan kwakufu ado chema o se onko ohima krom UK say okosan ho yade onpo yade no onya bi ntesidai ena mokansa no vice president enso kopie mu ewo eye na wotwe na se de bokata Daily Guide enso anope odiaba.
Blame political actors for violence, EC is the screaming banner headline for the front page of the Daily Graphic. Also on its front page, police warn lawbreakers at registration centers, say cases of violence being investigated. Minister's directive to GBC undermines Constitution. National Media Commission. I was never flown out, President. If we turn our attention to the back page of the newspaper, the Daily Graphic newspaper, fire guts Koforidua Central Market. Sorry about that. We thought you were celebrating the sword cutting for your regional hospital. Unfortunate that fire guts through the Koforidua Central Market. Zipline delivers 79,800 medical products via drone.
The Wokata editor to Kunini Daily Graphic Truth and Accuracy every day. Na wadi abetu dwa isi Mami Jinmensa chairperson Nimfoni da ho fe. Wose yemfa so mo ema eye amanyofo efa basabasa ene hoye a ekoso ewo registration centers ahodo no wode emunsem ede aba wode ensami tudwa no afre ensamtrofo ene emu edi enkomo sabre na muso no obamane se enipa beye opepe enkron ene achipo enwotwe de sabre odi akwabato manimu ehonsem ewo hase sanso en ohwe the Wokata kronuma wada betudwa se obibia obeye basabasaye ewo registration centers no yenhwe na yeni no eni ne sene emra no ese the Wokata no de ehonsem aba aban eba behwe eye economy no sene akwakodru the Wokata no de monsem aba ene ekonomia for kenofurata beko na wadi sankomo nyina akoto enim sanso na rehosem esi ene se ejato eye Kofodua Central Market rehosem sanse 25 stores ahodo echese nyina eja atum na ahye sanso na zipline delivers empem adioson enkron aha nwotwe medical product ahodo a drone a yese de be supply in drone chese adwuma aye no the Wokata no hwe na chi a ode sa ensem nyina aba anopai unya bi kenkan a obetumi atem se we ni nsem ahodo a the Wokata ahodo no ena nopai wode aba ye pempen so e wode dialogue show eso
menya medase ya dase pa wako register
my media kama pa
nice one with the brofo you beka congratulations well done
and the process no so na enye de din bia
how long now take here
let's say by 10 minutes
we fantastic. So for those of you who are yet to register, please head to the various registration centers this morning. And just before you go there, make sure you wash your hand with soap and under running water, you know, as regularly before you leave for the registration center. Hand sanitize or sanitize your hands as regularly as you can, and put on your face mask before you step out of your homes. And when you get to the registration centers, please ensure social distancing of about 2 meters or at least a minimum of 1 meter.
Before my call, birthday wish we one fan in Fonyama, but was here wish man or say a friend George Sarkodie or wish Prophet Enoch Junkies or wishing happy birthday. We George Sarkodie. I was say unfortunately when me and fan in Fonyama sene
and to focus now wish Prophet Enoch Jenkins.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yes,
Focus the Bible to me. Right. It's another lovely Thursday morning right here on your favorite station at Net2 Television. In a moment, we will be initiating the conversation with the nation. Kofi Amayaw is my guest for this morning. But before we do that, Franco Trading wants me to alert you that you have to beware of some unscrupulous persons who are using their Facebook account to defraud innocent citizens on their Facebook account. So Franco Trading is telling you to use their online transactions. The official or the authentic Franco Trading Facebook has over 100,000 likes. So you go there and identify that particular Facebook account. Or alternatively, go to www.francotrading.com. For Android and iOS users, look for the app Franco Trading. And for Instagram, at Franco Trading, capital F, capital T. Well, if you do your orders, Franco Trading says your delivery or your products will be delivered at your doorstep promptly. At Franco Trading Enterprise, they have in stock genuine Samsung, Nokia, iPhones, and of course, their own branded television sets, the Franco TVs. So head to Franco Phones and grab your equipment. Is it the mobile phone you need or mobile phone accessories? They also have laptops, tablets, printers, and all that you need. Locate their head office at Adabraka opposite the Roxy Cinema. To call them 0246 422 338. Welcome back to the dialogue with me, Isaac Clotte, and around the glass table this morning to engage in a chit-chat for the nation is Mr. Kofi Amayaw. Bra Kofi Akwaba. Oh, Charlie, and you're small.
So me who baby, I know me who baby.
in two
places.
Yes, minim. No. But it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
You look well.
Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
Now, Gym, still look Gym. Because you look quite well.
You have to be healthy, especially in times like this. You have to keep your system active and running.
Right.
Because sometimes, experts now say, in any case, let me stand on existing protocol. Now, Menchiao.
Right.
And then Menchiao production. Gentleman not on
Randy Safo.
Yeah.
General. Producer general.
I know, right? And then let me also, chair a watch phone. Now, it's a privilege to be here. I've been here before, but it's more humbling to be on this platform because platform nation and not just how big it is, but the impact now it carries. And I'm very happy said and okay.
Right. The joy is ours to have you. Yes, yeah, that was say. But I know in some they seem very key to the development of the country. Particular, especially, they are both futuristic and past. That's why I don't know where to start. One says the president has cut a sword for the Eastern Regional Hospital, a 70 million euro Eastern Regional Hospital, and I emphasize on the price: 70 million euro hospital to be built, be completed in 36 months. And the futuristic one, by 10 a.m. or by midday today, the finance minister would have come out with his budget review, whether we would enjoy some more electricity freebie or water freebies, we are yet to know. But these are the two issues on the table. But let's just go back to yesterday.
No, there was one we discussed, the threats from the...
Right. Of course, the Chronicle also has on its front page, NDC threatening to deal with our security forces when they come back to power. Is that a rational thing to say? Well, we'll listen to the opinion of Kofi Amayaw. But before Kofi Amayaw comes in, you can also be part of the show. So send your comments and views, opinions to our social media handles at Net2TVGH. Currently, we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Brakwame, NTNR President Kate sought for the Eastern Regional Hospital. Why should we be excited?
I think that let's put this whole exercise now, President here, into perspective. It goes to demonstrate the commitment of a president. Why Nigerians say, Obe fix the economy through the management of the indicators. Bonibe kobe balance no, because before yeba bem MPP ba bem 2017 na yenyesika our total revenue it goes to satisfy three budgetary requirements, salary payments and amortization, interest payments, and buying obligations, statutory obligations. So you realize that our tax revenue you come 5% more. So we have to go back and then look for money somewhere to do other things, including infrastructure near there. So it was incumbent. Say government will shift the focus of economic management from taxation to production. And I'm glad to submit to you, say, when the president came with his government, he has been able to manage and stabilize the economy. And then in the midst of all of that, he has also embarked on infrastructure activities, pragmatic, real, and then you can see, say, my value for money. I used to say, in as much as I sometimes see the hypocrisy and the double standard of ex-president John Dramani Mahama when he once said sometime in August 2007 that to do infrastructural comparison between two governments, exercise in mediocrity. I condemn him, and then later he came back to tell us, we should vote for him based on the infrastructure. Why? Whilst in his green book, some of the achievements, of course, exist, and most doesn't exist. You cannot embark on infrastructural activities in a country and be successful. That is why it was evident that in 2015, April 5th, Ghana decided to go to IMF for a bailout.
Okay.
Meaning, say, and indeed they declared that the economic policies, and I say, and you or minor in terms of Yesika Semno, they don't have that credibility. So they said that they wanted policy credibility from the IMF, and that they gave us a facility of almost $1 billion. It came with its conditions, and it was very dire for the country. To the extent, Kra said, this current government would have to go through that some of the austerity measures near the other. But when the New Patriotic Party came to power, within a matter of 3 years, getting to 4 years, we've been able to fix the systematic mess in the country. Make a systematic mess. I'm talking about problems that are compounding over the years.
Right.
And then we had John Dramani Mahama, to be specific, exacerbating the problem. Like, or the more to say, for example, Dumso was.
So as we speak, we can see shots or pictures of the president, the sword-cutting ceremony that took place in Kofi yesterday. So we have our guest, Kofi Amayaw, giving us his opinion.
And you realize Dumso was catastrophic. It crippled the economy.
Right.
To me, the most. The idea about Yankasa was Dumso. We created Dumso and we were not able to manage it. It became a crisis, a sad economy, to the extent that the ordinary woman who was selling ice water and as a pure water on the street, was even affected.
Right.
Baba was affected, hairdresser was affected, water was affected. Every aspect of the economy was affected. So that's the problem we came to me. Now, to go back to the point I was trying to establish, given the antecedents. Now, you realize that this is a president what born home to the extent say you are aware. Say Ghana's economy, especially foreign direct investments, even Nigeria, with the size of the economy and with the size in their population.
Okay.
Ama no ne form wo gidie wo economy bi where be man mu say yembrane fa esika mehiem Ghana in terms of West Africa we are number 1. Ye ka baby ease of doing business baby yemre se be ye adwuma Ghana is number 1 in West Africa.
Right.
In fact, 9th of February 2019 what Bloomberg one of the articles somebody admitted say if you say a region or a continent so obey year. It takes one country to come out. In the case of Europe, it took the UK to initiate the Europe industrialization agenda or revolution agenda. When you talk about East Asia, it took Japan. When you talk about Africa, and to be specific, West Africa, Ghana, and they take the lead. But for COVID-19, so in the midst of all of these economic laurels and achievements, which brought relief to the good people of this country, and then they expand the economy now, we're able to hire even a lot of people in all the sectors. To the extent that you create a very unique opportunity for the youth. I mean, I'm talking about NAPCO, a graduate of maybe school, about 100,000 of them.
Right.
Then in all of this, the president is also embarking on massive infrastructure, including roads, and then what we just witnessed, I will show on screen, so health facilities, because of, obviously, COVID-19 exposes you to a lot of flaws and a lot of loopholes and a lot of maybe before. Right. So the government, the president has taken upon itself to do all of that. But the idea woman say this health infrastructure is one of many to come. Because when you come to the mid-year review budget, you realize that 88 gang of 88, project, and your photo will put the plan before.
So this is just like a precursor
to
the...
it was part of our manifesto, and we've taken the
Eastern Regional
the Eastern Region, right? So it's not even part of the 88, and it's about maybe 400, almost 500. By way, first phase we are cut is ordinary 280 beds.
85.
And the cost component, said you stress here, is very key, and Ghanaians need to pay attention.
Right.
We are giving them value for money.
Okay.
Just the obi koyebi, the nimebua odichato so and all of that. So at the end of the day, we have a president that we can rely on. Say, all fix the economy, now all men yuma air bano. Now your inflation rate no ever form no. Now interest rates edwumayefo timi ko bank bobi sense hu ni kuma no. Na amanone ifo nya gidi no mo ba no discabeshe no.
On that point no, Enra, after the sword cutting on social media, it was all awash with two pictures. One rich hospital and the proposed hospital for the Eastern region. But with the rich hospital, of course, they quoted the price over $200 million or so for the rehabilitation of the already existing rich hospital. And the rehabilitation included the facade, the front bit of it, and some added facilities at that cost. By a new regional hospital, well, when you see the prototype pictures, it looks quite grander than the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. But how could it cost us 70 million whilst the previous rehabilitation
it was
of
able
the Greater...
to happen because of the leadership at that time.
But the two of them are all leaders.
No, no, you don't. They are not just. You don't ever say that. Leaders.
And they show bufu for John Mahama to be compared to.
It's to compare John Mahama to. You don't do that.
Right.
Don't ever do that because for this country.
Right.
And what makes me love the president is his commitment to empower the youth, to give the youth a future. And I love him for that. He's the but this is the honorable opportunity to introduce him in October 22nd at Washington, D.C.
Right.
Now, U.S. media for no meet the press, and I happened to coordinate it. And I don't know, I was trying to write something to introduce me, and I decided not to do that. I wanted to do a tempo. One thing that was clear in my introduction was that he's coming to give hope. He will be a beacon of hope.
Okay.
I didn't know why I said that. And clearly, he has been a beacon of hope. So I'll share his grand agenda, policies, programs, and concrete proposals geared towards the betterment of the youth. It's not comparable to what the NDC or the NDC administrations have been able to do. In fact, as we speak now, we don't have a clear-cut, the NDC doesn't have a clear-cut policy tailored towards the betterment of our
manifesto comparison. But I just want to find out how come we have a rehabilitated hospital costing X amount and a brand new hospital costing Y amount?
The denominator is as simple as I've told you. It's because we had a leader who was surrounded by corrupt individuals. And I say this carefully because it's now evident. The court of law, competent court of law in this country has pronounced a judgment on appointees of the ex-president. Sebi, omo eye etu anamombia na Jim kankani katasi to omo kodefiase. And we have several others here prosecute in the law court. So ma committee act of corruption and financial malfeasance near the other. So the difference is that you had a president who inflated a projects, okay, for their personal aggrandizement and their homes and car prices.
Right.
Clearly, they will come and tell you, say, okay, Eastern region, and they will give you all the cost, the project management component. And of course, when somebody comes to you and says, okay, Mato at 10 million, no, this receipt betrayal. How do you afford the person? At the end of the day, we're inflating. How do you go back? The value for money we never had because we were rude. We were led by a bunch of corrupt individuals. And I don't say this as a matter of propaganda. I say this as a matter of legal basis because we are having situations where people have been corrupt. We are having situations where even international courts, international court. And one thing that we seem not to remember is the fact that even STS, the STS deal, that happened sometime in 2010. In the court, the STS people admitted, said they paid $10 million to government officials in this country.
Really?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
In Ghana. Okay, then we come back again, sometime in 2019, we are told, say, Airbus, the company bribed an individual to influence a decision by a top government official. That top government official has come to admit June 20th, 2020, when MPP was doing their prime, he said, yes, I am the government official one. However, I didn't take any bribe. As to whether he took the bribe or not, the special prosecutor will be able to reveal that. So clearly, if you want to know the denominator, if you want to know why the difference in the figures now, it's leadership.
Right.
One is corrupt, one is incorruptible, and he will never be corrupt.
Right. So this is the opinion or the view of my guest this morning, Kofi Amayaw, who's, giving us what it takes to get a leader of exemplary qualities in the person of our current president. Right. So in about a few hours, maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours time, the finance minister, Kofi, will be unveiling our media budget review for the nation. What would it entail? What's in the brown bag when it gets into parliament? Me, I don't know. So that's why I'm going to ask the view of my guest today, what he makes of the possibilities of the content in the brown bag. Kofi, Uncle Ken, then I'll dream.
Remember breaking news 1 or 2.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's admit, we are not in normal times.
Right.
Okay. Normal. Our 2020 budget now, year kind of 2019. No, said the Omar no sikasem no, no, our expenditure, our revenue no, because of no, we might, and I said, this is a result of the extenuating at a new and meeting on my before and that was in best practices, because a mama who doing in area well aware say over 100 COVID-19 instituted and has put in place measures and Ghana was one of them. And for that matter, no, yesika die no ni yesika jiji no enye pepepe. For example, revenue it's way out of gear because sebi ebi mo come back.
Okay.
Especially Osha port now, about 60% of our revenue, tax revenue as a country comes from no. For some time no, ebi mo timi too quite na omo. And then you talk about the fact that the airline industry, the aviation industry, is hardly hit. Sisiano, obia ntu kwa impo no obia baby na abanya bibi kakra film.
True.
Na ohwe omo anka o se omo koba na omo nye skato no man omo so omo sika no ashrenke kakra na so medjuma na bafom. So the government had to do something, including even the entire country, because we couldn't have been selective. So, okay, this sect of people should deserve this or that. See, we went ahead to say, in Kanyano, at least 50% for 3 months. And then in Soso, you're the same.
Right.
And then even free. I am here to report to you, say, that policy, that mitigating way, will be extended again.
Oh, yes. In today's review. Fantastic.
And then there was government realized, because maybe I am you realize that they have a system,
right,
a friend unemployment benefit, where at some points when you are you can fall on that and be based on what you used to earn, right, so that you can survive.
Right.
Then now I'm right. I reveal it to us, especially even the hospitality industry. People lose so much, people had to reduce the size of the array.
Right.
So government is bringing something it's called the unemployment insurance.
Okay.
And no, I buy yes seed money. Or mine sika be say mundis coming into, and there will be from other sources. So what that means, if you when you owe your Jumana say for one reason, you can fall on that. When to say a social security, fall on the hand. This is a seed money I buy the kind of an insurance, where when you lose your job, you can fall on
something. So, very spectacular policy, at least. But how are we going to support it? Or Nina Obechirimu? Nina
Obechirimu. Okay. But kind the seed money number. Right. But moving forward, I think that the trade union must also come on board. Maybe not now, but in future we can discuss that, where probably the contribution being made by its members, the member be losing Juma, they should come to the aid of that member in the future. So these are some of the things. Then the government will also outline, of course, tell Ghanaians exactly what the ESICA are here, especially when we went to IMF for the rapid credit facility, because we are members, we pay our dues, and the IMF made available such funds. So we access that funds. But this whole review will be around a very capable, very competent and compassionate government, because you realize, you see, let me share with you something. You COVID-19 by about 2 and Amobi, especially when we went to the IMF and all of that. Yenyanti ebise omampeni dada kase ena omano yesi kase mo ya. If our economy was resilient, why did we go to IMF for that credit facility? Is
that not a legitimate question?
That's a very weak question to ask.
Tell us why.
One, the IMF is a world body that we all contribute to. OSHA COVID-19, OSHA the advanced countries, including the US, Canada, the North America, and the OECD, European countries now, our budget deficit is an average of 16%. Okay. We share emerging markets, emerging economy, including Ghana. You will be about doing 10% budget deficit.
Right.
What I say. And then the IMF realized that no, as me I'm a regulating man, I say let me give you an opportunity to cushion you. And then you say you and opening say sika. And I say, Jumaya Muye, Sebi Muhon Cheremo, a common demo. Nanso say, Muhu say, Ebia, Sikebi loan be what baby Nase, a muambre, more for Ombejin share a Jumamu Kena, now my Jumanin Tumpo. So that's precisely what we did. But that notwithstanding, what should be clear, and they said, OSHA, in spite of all the excess expenditure now we have to incur and expend on the citizens, the economy is still resilient. Let me ask you a question. What is it for complaining?
Rarely.
No, not really. Like, have you heard government workers, civil servants complaining, say there's no money to pay them?
Till this morning, not yet.
Not yet. So that tells you how resilient the economy, because a economy, how you manage it. And initially, I told you, say, a tax revenue, okay, and other sikaya, and I gave you 3 budgetary airlines, including salaries and wages, interest payment. February 17th, 2015, in fact, 2014. African Development Bank wrote to Ghana and said we cannot even pay our interest on the loans from the mine. 100 million. And then we join countries like Djibouti and Kekahua, loan, and Nguasia Poto. When we pay air and gas for money to produce as gas, it took Otumfuo or Tekokoso or Pemsoa to intervene. In this country, where teachers were told, say, you work for 2 years and you'll be paid for 3 months. We live in this country where allowances say, school and a nursing school, no. You see, you need to. We also live in this country where some schools in the northern region were about closing down because money was not going for their feeding grants and all of that.
Right.
We also live in this country where countries school feeding program now bind you. But I'm asking the question again. If you want to know how resilient the economy is, are we not paying workers? Are we not paying our interest to
Right.
Are we not just recently 70 million intervention on secondary schools? They went. You were just reading today. Say, and it's so, you see, I understand we are human beings, it's normal. We live in this country where a girlfriend, contractors, no, complaining.
Right.
Now we've settled them to the extent, come and work. So if anybody should ask you that this economy is not resilient or wasn't resilient before COVID-19, and then even in the midst of COVID-19, we are able to fulfill and satisfy our statutory obligations, and then also get money to also take care, contain the virus. As we speak now, when you go to other countries, say COVID-19 show now hospital, what may you do insurance?
Okay.
By Ghana, when you are being attacked by COVID-19 or the coronavirus, government they show through and through. You don't pay any penny.
So far, so free.
So free
for Ghana.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So fantastic. If you tell me the economy is resilient, what else do you want to see for you to realize that indeed we have this country in a very, very good hand?
And to end the review, it will reflect how resilient Ghana's economy has been.
That is one.
And the supportive efforts to its citizens going forward.
And it also reveals how compassionate this government is. And it's also revealed to you how we focus on the survival of Ghanaians.
Right.
What I said. Right. And it also revealed to you that when the president said that we know how to bring back the economy, but we don't know how to bring back life.
Right.
You're demonstrated to you, sir, even in the midst of this COVID-19, we've managed the economy well. And after the COVID-19, you will see how excellent we've done.
Right. So these are the opening comments from Kofi Amayaw on the finance minister's proposed review of the budget, media review of the budget this morning, somewhere around 10 a.m. in the chambers of Parliament. We'll be bringing you that live on Net2 television. We'll be taking a break in a couple of minutes, but just before then, let's read a few messages that's dropped in so far. Good morning, Net2 TV. Thanks for the great job. The minority are calling for the head of Honorable Kumsing. I want to know their reaction towards Sami Jemfi's press conference. Where is the Peace Council? Kwamina Nkumkwe says, good morning to TV. We are grateful to Mr. President and the NPP team for their job done to the state. Nana Osei responds to Nanaya saying the Peace Council is an organization, the word I can't repeat it here, led by a biased so-called men of God who are not consistent in their condemnation. Right, there's also another one from Brakweku in Accra. He says, all those prosecuting Hawa Kumsin are shameful people. She was defending herself because of what happened to her some time in the past when she was giving food to her people. She was attacked by the NDC thugs 3 good times. You think she'll sit down again for her to be attacked? No, that was Bra-Kweku's take. Our next topic comes from the front page of the Chronicle newspaper, which says, NDC threatens to deal with soldiers, police drastically should they come back to power. What I was asking in myself is that how are these security men and women supposed to feel after hearing these kind of threats? Well, that thought just stayed in my head. But I asked Kofi what he makes of this headline, and is there rational things to say? The NDC for our Chronicle front page, then I'll dream.
The NDC is weak.
Hey.
The NDC is very weak.
Weak, pa.
They are very weak, and
how can a weak person threaten to deal with soldiers and police drastically?
You're a guy, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, when I grew up in Bubuashi area,
okay,
when you go to Choco and play Unchindi, and then you see this guy, Ijibo,
yeah,
by Charlie.
Nothing there inside.
You see, that's how the NDC is.
Right.
So let me give you some history.
Right.
The NDC as a political party feels entitled.
Okay.
They think Ghanaians must always give them power.
Right.
Regardless of how poor and how incompetent they perform. And how inept and how crass their leadership is. They feel that we must get power at all costs.
Right.
So if you look at the history, after 1992, you would realize that credibly they haven't won elections in this country. Oh, credibly no. They haven't won election in this country. And anytime we've won, the MPP wins an election, it's as a result of the fact that it took vigilance, it took bold message and concrete proposals and policy that the country accepts. Even when we've gone back to opposition, you realize it's not because of how poor we were or how incompetent we were in governance, but it's as a result of our own personal judgments, errors, and all of that. So, as a government, our conduct and all of that, that sends us to opposition. But not because we've done well. And of course, we know the dynamics of elections, not just in Ghana, but all over the world.
Right.
So it's not just about how good your policies were, but in Nyomedi Kahon. Now let's come back quickly to 2020.
Right.
Now you 2016 Kitwebi. The NDC still hasn't accepted, and almost almost 1 million votes now they lost, which is unprecedented and historic. Than in the Fourth Republican Constitution, we've not had an incumbent losing that much. They haven't still come out of it.
They still haven't grasped reality yet.
Yes, they haven't sat down. And I think, Sir Committee now, they haven't, I said, baby. I think on Sunday, Emma party no tiasie Emma and your self-introspection say, okay, why did we lose? Because I know why they lost. They lost because they didn't have any message. They've never had one, especially John Dramani Mahama. Remember 2016, in spite of all the irregularities, malpractices, omissions, and statutory violations, that encapsulated our elections, and the Supreme Court even gave him the mandate to still lead. You would realize, one for message, I see it the big keke. And in the big keke was not a message. Then in 2016, he comes back and says, no message at all. So they think that the best way for them to come back is not on records, on their records or their message, but threatening people. And they started by threatening the electoral commissioner. They started by issuing recently.
Okay, let's pause right here. We'll come back to that. I still have the threatening phase of your delivery right on my mind. But we are just taking a quick short break. We need to make some sales. So after that, the conversation with Kofi Amayaw continues. We're talking about the topic on the discussion was NDC threatening to deal drastically with security agencies when they come to power. But just before resume that conversation again, let me just remind you that the Canadian Japan led facilitation to bring stranded Ghanaians back from Lebanon is still on. Please don't forget to support the cause if you can to our dedicated mobile money numbers, and they are 0541 929 250. 0541 929 250. Also, we have 0542 869 979 for MTN. For Vodafone cash users, 0202 297929 is the number to send your contributions, and the ADB account number remains 113100005053541001. The routing number is 080113 with the SWIFT code as ADNTGHAC. So please, we are still awaiting your contributions for the efforts led by Canadian Japan to bring back stranded Ghanaians back home safely. Kofi, na chair the entire NDC for they got it wrong with the security agencies.
I'm not surprised. I recall 2017. Now, me engage communication. The attitude, especially the young ones, and I realized something is not right. And this will go into the elections. And indeed, it was verified and it was confirmed to me when they elected individuals like Sami Jemfi and Akamba as against Fred Agbono and Yabwa Tinjan. The moment they elected them overwhelmingly, then I realized something wrong is going to be happening.
Right.
And clearly, yesterday, I was listening and watching this young man threatening our security agencies, and I was shocked to the marrow of my bone, and I'm like, what is happening? But I also realized he's being supported, energized, spirited by certain individuals in Pennyphobia, because I recall sometime in US, Massachusetts, now 2011 more communication or radio, so
right.
And then the president John Dramani Mahama was coming to Massachusetts, and I said on radio, I made a comment on radio, which was not in good taste. The chapter chairman, now the financial administrator of MPP, National Collins Nyama,
right.
He called me to a barbering shop. He was going to cut his hair or something. He called me to that place and advised me. Say, Charlie, after that time, you won't get me saying these things. So I am saying, this gentleman said what he said because somebody somewhere, one, is backing him, supporting him, or energizing him to go out there and make such pronouncements.
You reckon?
And when I say this, it's not a hunch or an assumption.
Okay.
Because you will recall that the national chairman of the party, NDC, a meeting be saying that certain persons in Ghana should be attacked, and him, for the first time, will allow these individuals to be insulted.
Right.
Okay? So, they plan already. They've hatched it already. Oma incubating, and now been. And unfortunately, no young man when he did anymore. And all kakasa, or no crano, me assure so until you can say.
Are you sure? Yes.
No. Listen.
Say yes, you're a lawyer.
It's not. Oh, come on. Your school law or honey, I don't want to be.
Okay.
But some of the comments to the extent say, oh, threatening, say you're not fishing, you deal with you mercilessly. What exactly are you going to do to them mercilessly? These are security non-partisan. Sample Crown, if you feel that they've done something, untoward that, there are channels, there are processes that you have to go through to address it.
Right.
But for a young man to stand on national TV, national platform, and issue threat, then goes ahead to put it on your Twitter, so that the whole world will know that there's a political party called NDC in Ghana, which is so audacious and bold, okay, to issue threats to the security agency. I think that the NDC, like I stated earlier, is weak, especially under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, because clearly this man, I don't think, planned to be the his presidency was improvised. And I was thinking that he would have taken 2020.
You don't hold the former president in high esteem at all.
Oh, because if you're a leader and you manage the way he did, I don't think that he deserves any respect. I respect him as a father, as a man.
Right.
I never had the opportunity to have a father in my life.
Okay.
So for him and what he does with the kids, I love it. I love his person in terms of being a father. But as a leader, as a political leader, as a president, as a former president, I think he's the worst we've ever had. And if God forbid he gets the opportunity again, you will suffer, you will break, you will be happy, you will try to to the extent, you see, let's put some few things into context.
Sure.
When a man when this house, this media house, was struggling to survive because of doom so,
right?
When other do you know that the 2014 entire budget of multimedia, okay, was less than the 2015 budget for genset. What I mean is, for 4 months, first quarter, si come to fuel, generator the entire budget, including si come to my phone operational budget, na si come their tofu and so that one. That is how bad the situation was in this country.
Right.
Not every single day, Omani lose $2 million US. By the year, you lose almost 62 million or so. So for me, there's no way I will hold him in high esteem and expect say he will come and lead this country again.
Right.
And then again, Adebaku Media, Emami who say Sebi or your penny or boy, and they say he never had and he still doesn't have any plan for the future for this country, especially the youth in this country. So what the NDC is doing, is just an attempt to show some facade. So we are here,
right?
And of course, they've said that they come from a revolutionary background,
right?
And that when it comes to unleashing violence, but I tell you, they are the weakest group we've ever experienced in our body politics. This bunch of NDC folks coming on national TV. Hold on a minute. We're not the same people who said no, the Electoral Commission cannot go ahead with the registration.
I was saying.
And yet they go to the court and accept that the registration should go on, but we should add the existing voter register to it. And then they come out and make a video. The leader in the flag guy comes to make a video and say people should go out and register.
Right.
And then when these people say NDC threatens to do with soldiers, not even civilians. You even the commissioner or the commission civilians, when you threaten, say you will not allow them to go ahead with their voter registration exercise. You couldn't even do it. How much more the military?
Right.
They are weak and they are empty.
That's cool. That's cool. Just cool down and just relax and don't get worked out by issues of such nature. Right. So this is the take of Kofi Amayaw on the issue of NDC threatening to deal with soldiers and police drastically. Please send your comments and views on that subject as well to our social media handles at Net2 Television. Right. A few minutes ago, I mentioned that you can send your contributions to assist in helping to bring back Ghanaians stranded in Lebanon. We are happy to announce that we've received generous contributions from people from various aspects of life in Ghana. So we are going to name and praise them for their contributions to the cause. So this morning we are ecstatic to say thank you to great Apia Kubi, and you sent us, these are all Momo contributors, that's the mobile money contribution. Great Apia Kubi, Paulina Moakon, 7 stars, I don't know whether it's a school or a church, but Kokomlemle, we are grateful. Royal Beneric, okay, I hear it's a school at Kokomlemle. Royal Beneric, Daniel Nketia, Creative Talent, Harry Dodu, Article 1. Oh, if it's the musician, wow. We'll play your music today. I'll listen to your music the whole day. Article 1. Omni Bank, Accra Central, Quick Pay Pool, Joshua Tay, Peter Nkrumah, Bedu Kwame Moro, Akomenin Kwache, Jennifer Amache, Isaac Nyakun, Julius Aye Afedi, Albert Krampa, Joshua Mante, Michael Kofi Achampon, Y Enterprise, K Fosu from Kumasi, Love Abrokwa Dakwa, Kendall Onad Enterprise, Chrisman Enterprise, Michael Kwabna Eselfi, Kwabna Jomo, George Owusu, Send Wave, Samuel Kwache Ashreng, Ebenezer Ofusu Ejay, Charles Opoku Enterprise, Obin Jedu, Simon Edu Kuranting, Apentin Saki, Ruben Mensah, George Amwakon, Elizabeth Jenfi, John Bentum, Raphael Edu Asane, and Janet Asabia. Well, these are the names I've got, and we are so grateful. Just receive our gratitude. We are so grateful. For those who didn't hear your names, I guess in subsequent live presentations, you will be acknowledged by Kencity Media. Of course, there are numerous numbers of people who want to remain anonymous, and we are also very grateful. Kofi, so what in Sama Koso from Lebanon, stranded Ghanaians?
So I work with the Ghana mission to the UN.
Yeah.
And I'm fully aware of such situations and how uncomfortable. Even countries like US. In fact, I and the Consul General and a team, we coordinated the evacuation of Ghanaians from New York area to Ghana. That was 25th, and we go to Ghana 26th. And even some of them, even in the US, with the US, it was, some of the stories were horrible. Heartbreaking. And I have messages, people will call you, text you. So, and then to talk about our friends and our brothers in Lebanon.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. We will appeal to the good conscience of Ghanaians.
Right.
So, sometimes I have no stories and no videos now. Now you've been gnashing your teeth and gnashing your teeth and all of that. And hope say you
some help will come through.
Not just help will come through, but you yourself would want to help.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we know how
you
do
will.
it.
Right.
Namisha Kennedy Japan, the honorable member for Ayasin Central.
Right.
Namisha no dream pa.
And then the wife Stella Japan and.
Do you know I was offered? Auntie Stella offered me a job here.
Really?
Sample, yeah.
Oh, and now you by your colleague. You are welcome before you even answer to that.
I almost got it. I did get the job, but eventually I had to leave for the US.
All right.
So I had to come and apologize. I was almost, so that's how sweet they are and that's how caring
their family
is.
Right, fantastic. It's now time to join in those celebrating their birthdays today. So let's catch up with the happy persons for today. Who are those? Bernice Arthur Edmondson. Happy, healthy, exceptional, rocking birthday to you, my friend. Wish you success in all your doings. From your bestie, Sandra. I suspect it must be Sandra Powell who sent this message. Right. Congratulations, Bernice, and enjoy the day to the max. Bernice Arthur Edmondson. Anka say if you anka bibi befim sa all triple English there. Anyway, congratulations on your day. Who's next? We have Marlon Lamont Wayans. Of course, it's a comic American actor, a comedian, film producer, and a screenwriter. So these two personalities are celebrating their birthdays today. Right, so this is where we bring an end to the celebration of birthdays. Just before we go, let me just remind you, the Momo numbers for contribution to the help bring back the stranded Ghanaians in Lebanon is 0541 929 250. 0541-929-250. The other mobile money number is 0542-869-979. So two MTN numbers for the mobile money contributions, and one Vodafone number for the mobile phone for the contributions. That's 020-229-7929. The ADB account number remains 1131-000-5341001. That's the ADB account number. And for the last time, let me just go over the names of those who have contributed to the fund so far. Grace Akia Kubi, Paulina Mwakun, 7 Star School, Kokomlemle, Royal Beneric, Daniel Nketia, Creative Talents, Haridodu, Article 1, Omni Bank Accra Central Branch, Quick Pay Pool, Joshua Tay, Peter Nkrumah, Balu Kwame Moro, Akomenin Kwache, Jennifer Amache, Isaac Nyakun, Julius Aye Afedi, Albert Krampa, Joshua Mante, Michael Kofi Champon, Y Enterprise, K Fosu from Kumasi, Love Abrokwa Dakwa, Kindle Honored Enterprise, Kindle Honored Enterprises, Chrisman Enterprise, Michael Kobna Esilfi, Kobna Jomo, George Owusu, Send Wave, Samuel Kwachi Ashering, Ebenezer Ofusu Ejei, Charles Opoku Enterprise, Obeng Jedu, Simon Edu Kuranting, Apentin Saki, Rubin Mensa, George Adomakon, Elizabeth Jemfi, George Bentum, Raphael Edu Asene, and Janet Asabia. So if you didn't hear your name and you've contributed, we apologize and we'll do that correction. Some of you too have elected to remain anonymous, and we are very, very grateful to for your contributions. For those who desire to contribute, please do. It's never too late. And on this note, I'll say thank you, our viewers, for supporting us in such an effort, and thank my guest this morning, Kofi Amayaw, for gracing and enriching the show. Kofi, we are grateful.
I'm grateful as well.
Right. And on this note, please don't go nowhere. As we bring you the mid-year budget review by Ken Oforiatta, we'll be bringing you that presentation live right here on Net2 Television.